Hello everyone and welcome to the UkeStuff channel. Today we'll be doing a tutorial for the song Yoda by Weird Al Yankovic. Now, just for the record, I grew up as a teenager listening to the Dr. Demento show where all these kind of goofy hits were. It was like a late Saturday night or Friday night show and you'd listen to it and they had all these crazy songs like 99 Dead Baboons and of course Yoda. Now, what made me think of doing this video is there's a relatively new series on Disney Plus called The Mandalorian, and one of the big hits in our culture right now is Baby Yoda. And in fact, there's a t-shirt out, but they feature this image up here, which is Baby Yoda playing an ukulele. And to be honest, Star Wars was one of the things for me as a kid, and I know that even kids today are now part of the new trilogy, but I was 5 years old when the first Star Wars came out, and I still remember going with my dad, and that was a major part of my life. And so Baby Yoda and The Mandalorian is definitely appealing to me as sort of nostalgia as much as part of a story. So that got me thinking about songs with Yoda or Baby Yoda, and of course the one that comes to mind is Weird Al Yankovic and his Yoda. So I went online and I said, what's out there? And what I've got for you today is sort of a tutorial of how to play the chords, and then how to talk about a little bit of some strumming ideas. I'm not going to go too deep into it with you because I'm not going to go into finger picking or anything with that, but a couple of strumming patterns that you can use to play the song successfully along with the play-alongs. Now, to warn you, I have put them in different keys. So for GCEA ukulele, it is in the key of G, and for DGBE baritone ukulele, it's in the key of A. I also want to remind you that this channel has a relationship with UkeTabs, and at UkeTabs they're putting the actual tabs to these songs. So if you want the tabs to this song, you can look at the link in the description below, which will take you to the actual chord chart for this song that's used in the video. I think I should also mention that there is one part where I hear a minor chord, but it's not necessarily all minor or major. So the first time you play the progression, it's in minor. The second time, it's in major. That sounds best to my ear. You may want to play both with the major chords. When you play through the song, you'll know what I'm talking about. So let's begin by looking at the chords that you need for GCEA ukulele in the key of G. So that would be for soprano, concert, or tenor ukulele. For this part of the video, I'll be using my Flight TUSL-35. It's a long neck soprano that just came out from Flight, and I've been having a lot of fun with its instruments. My students really like the color and like how it looks, and I like just about everything about this instrument. I'll be reviewing it soon on my UkeStuff channel, youtube.com/UkeStuff. So let's take a look at the chords that you need. The first chord is the B flat chord. Sorry to start off with a hard one, but it's kind of what you need to play to function in the key of G. So with the B flat chord, I bar the first two strings on the first fret, and I actually pull against it. I pull against the ukulele if I'm holding it right, and then I put the other two fingers down. If you're pulling against it, you can almost play it without using your thumb behind, but it doesn't require a death grip to do that, or a force grip. There's a pun, by the way, to do that. So you sort of pull the ukulele against you, you get part of the force you need, and that's your B flat chord. Then you have your traditional C chord, your D chord, however you want to play it. I have a video on the youtube.com/UkeStuff page, which is actually where this video is hosted, showing 4 different ways that you can play the D chord. Feel free to take a look at that if you're interested in other ways to play D. If you notice, I play it sort of like a G7. I put my first finger at the top of the 3rd string 2nd fret and the other 2 fingers around it, making an upside down V. Other people will play it other ways, but that's how what usually works best for me. The next chord is the G chord. pretty standard chord. Then the A7, one of the easiest chords on GCEA Ukulele. And the E7, which is one of my all-time favorite chords. Just like how it feels in my hand. Then my rare use of the G minor, which you may not agree with the harmonization of the song, but that's what sounded best to my ear in one spot. Your A major chord. Then probably the hardest chord, really, the F sharp 7 chord. You put your first finger on the second string, 2nd fret, second finger on the 4th string, 3rd fret. And that's sort of an F shape, which makes sense because you're making an F sharp 7 chord. But then you have to put 2 fingers. You have to put the 3rd finger on the 3rd string, now 4th fret, and then the pinky on the 1st string, 4th fret. Makes it a movable shape, and it's really no different than F7, but it's just up a half step. So that's your F sharp 7. And then one more bar chord, the B minor chord. So again, it's an issue of pulling against all the strings at the 2nd fret. You just support with your thumb, but you don't have to do a death grip again. And then I play the 4th string, 4th fret with my 3rd finger. And that's your B minor chord. And those are the 10 chords that you need to play Yoda on GCEA, soprano, concert, or tenor ukulele. Now on DGBE baritone ukulele, I'll be playing my mainland cedar and rosewood ukulele. It's my baritone, my one and only baritone, and Mainland is a great company out in Nashville, Indiana, not Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where they're located, and they have these made and imported to their specifications. Almost all the Mainlands have that rope binding. I really, really like this instrument. I'm happy to have it as my main baritone. So let's take a look at the 10 chords you need with DGBE ukulele, which would also be the top 4 strings of most standard guitar tunings. So let's go. The first chord is the C chord, pretty standard. The D chord, pretty standard. The E chord, standard on baritone ukulele. Same with the A chord. Then the B7, a little more tricky, but also pretty standard. And then we get to our first bar chord. It's the F sharp 7 chord. So you're going to bar all 4 strings at the 2nd fret, and then with the 2nd finger, play the 3rd string, 3rd fret. That's the F sharp 7. Now, just for the record, pull against the ukulele, and that will resolve a lot of the tension that you need. I used to tell my students to act like a vice, and that was really wrong. Again, just like singing, ukulele is also about the reduction of tension and not playing with any more tension than you need to. So if you're pulling against the ukulele, you should get most of what you need even without the thumb pressed down, and then the thumb can just support that press. Be near the metal fret, not on it, but right behind it, and then add that 2nd finger. And that's your F sharp 7 chord. Then you have the A minor chord. Now you may disagree with the harmonic spelling of that. I use it once in the song because there's this part where whether it's major or minor is really ambiguous, and I lean towards hearing it more as a minor chord, although you may want to play it major, and then later in the song it's definitely major the 2nd time it comes back. But again, it wouldn't be uncommon for somebody to change that up in some part of the song. Then you have the B chord. There are lots of ways to play the B chord. It's just like the E chord on GCEA ukulele. The way that I've been playing the B chord like this lately is I put my 1st finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, and then use my 3rd finger and try to cover the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings, and then lift up the end so that that 1st string can vibrate, but then it's in the right position up there with that one finger. And that's the B chord, especially as written in this song. Then you have another bar chord at the 1st fret. You bar all 4 strings at the 1st fret, but then 2nd finger plays the 1st string, 2nd fret. And then one final pretty standard chord, the C sharp minor chord. And those are the 10 chords that you need to play Yoda on DGBE baritone ukulele. Alright, as we look at strumming, I'm going to be working solely on GCEA ukulele. If I put up any chords, they're only going to be for GCEA ukulele, but the methods still work on baritone, but it's in a different key, so I don't want to confuse people with that. So really, when I'm playing it, I play 2 different strums. So let's just take a look at the verse and actually the choruses. This works all the way through pretty much with one exception, and it's the island strum. And on the D chord, the island strum is just down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now, if you notice a couple things, first of all, strumming happens here on the ukulele, not here. If you have a guitar history, you want to move it down and you find out, oops, really the sweet spot of the strings generally happens where the body meets the neck. And it might even be a little bit higher up on this long neck soprano because it has a soprano body with a concert neck, which might put the sweet spot even a little higher. You'll be fine though if you aim for that. It'll be much better than going down there. It's just so much closer to where the string is attached, you just don't get as good of sound. Just the string's sweetest spot is in the middle of the instrument. It kind of makes sense in that regard. Now, with that in mind, okay, and I'm playing again at just the D chord, your hand continues to go up and down no matter what, and you just miss. So the island strum is down, down, up, down, up. But really you have to go down, miss, up, down, up, like that. And that's how you get the island strum, and it just goes faster. So it kind of goes like this. I met him in a swamp down in Dagobah, where it bubbles all the time like a giant carbonated soda. S-O-D-A, soda. And that kind of works on all the verses and everything else. Now, the second thing that you have to be ready for is when the song kind of does what actually happens at the very, very beginning of the thing. You get this bum, 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 bum. So what you have to do is struggle with that B flat. If you can't play it yet, you'll have to work with it. But it's down, up, down, down. Down, down, up, down, down. B flat, C, D is what that sequence does. And that happens a number of times through the song. You just have to be ready for it, and you just have to practice it. Just walks up B flat, C, D, right up the scale. So really, if you have those 2 strumming patterns, that's all you need really to be successful in the song and have a lot of fun with it. Definitely to be able to play along with the videos, but not only that, but also just to be able to play it on your own away from the videos, especially if you like Baby Yoda. So again, some tricky chords both on GCEA and DGBE. Just have fun with it. Remember, there's a little gear icon on the corner of your screen on YouTube. So if you're doing the play along, you can hit that gear icon and slow the video down to a point that you can play along, and YouTube will attempt to maintain the pitch. Now, it is possible that things get so slow or so fast that they don't sound normal anymore, but nonetheless, that feature is available on YouTube as well. So, thank you for watching the video. We'll be back soon with more content, and I hope that you have a great day.